HORNACEK from Liepaja, Latvia. He last played for Sevilla in Spain.
He's worked on English for quite some time. Didn't want that to be a barrier. Didn't want that to be once he made it to the NBA. And here, he's told Andy Katz this week that he embraces the opportunity to play in New York. That's assuming that there are no subsequent moves. And Chris Porzingis.
I'm completely disgusted. Let me be very, very clear about this kid, Porzingis, okay? He's got tremendous talent. You're talking about a project. You did this because of some dude who may or may not be ready in 2 years. We recognize that we have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived by Phil Jackson and the New York Knicks.
Stephen A., are you encouraged or discouraged by this loss?
No, I'm very encouraged by this guy. And you know, Phil Jackson is looking better and better as the season progresses. He's not scared of the big moment. And the fact that Derek Fisher and those boys had him out there in that particular situation, I think speaks well for him. He's athletic, he's got some heart, he's not scared, there's a tremendous upside, and I like what I'm seeing from him. I'm pleasantly surprised. I must admit that, because I never saw him play before.
What's your reaction?
I'm somewhat surprised, but only because of the timing. I anticipated that it was something that would probably happen at the end of this season, based on what I was hearing, not during the season. The fact that it happened during the season, although I know Derek Fisher, I'm fond of him, and I'm not happy for him that this happened. As a Knicks fan, what I like about this is that this shows me that Phil Jackson is not playing games, that there's a certain level of expectations that were not being met. And based
most exciting part for you coming home playing for the Knicks?
New York is very special to me. This is where I grew up, and I've been a Knicks fan my whole life. So this jersey means everything to me, and I'm ready to be an animal for this city.
On this particular day, even though the statement wasn't the greatest in the world, we should pay thanks to James Dolan. A little bit late to the party, but nevertheless, he came to his senses. Phil Jackson needed to go. You know why Phil Jackson needed to go? Because he never really wanted the job.
Carmelo Anthony has been traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and he's going to waive his trade clause to go there. The Knicks are going to get Cantor. They're going to get Doug McDermott and a 2018 second-round pick from the Chicago Bulls.
Jack throws it. Hardaway puts it up. Oh, he puts it in at the buzzer. What a pass from Jared Jack. And Hardaway.
But he goes down hard, and he's hurt.
Oh, my goodness.
You just don't ever want to see a guy fall and hold his knee.
The 2018 NBA Draft, the New York Knicks select Kevin Knox from the University of Kentucky.
Oh no! Oh, this is now guaranteed that Kevin Knox is going to have an all-star NBA career.
With the 36th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the New York Knicks select Mitchell Robinson from Chalmette, Louisiana.
HORNACEK is out. He was fired right after the Knicks wrapped up a disappointing season with a 110-98 win against the Cleveland Cavaliers last night. HORNACEK had a losing record in his 2 years, with the Knicks losing 104 games and winning just 60. He had 1 year left on his contract with the team.
This is quite humbling to be sitting here today with you guys. I'm so honored to be the head coach of the New York Knicks. I mean,
shot short. And Ntilikina and Moutier trying to lead the break. Oh, and a pass. And Robinson finishes down the other end. Moutier with a perfect alley-oop career.
Just take a look at Robinson, 7'1", agile, hostile.
Knicks, no fouls to give. Dinwiddie. Blocked by Ntilikina. Oh, sensational rejection there. Trier to the basket. And a blocking foul. Count it.
Watch Frank. Nasty rejection. And Trier.
The New York Knicks, they're going to trade Porzingis and Tim Hardaway Jr. and Courtney Lee to the Mavericks for Dennis Smith Jr., which is hilarious, DeAndre Jordan, Wesley Matthews, and a first-round pick. And now, all of a sudden, this summer, the Knicks are going to have $74 million in cap space. They could sign 2 max contract players. Whoa! Porzingis had a meeting with the Knicks this morning, and it was heated. It was tense. So the Knicks said, all right, we're just going to get rid of you. Now, this is funny because
The New York Knicks.
With the 3rd pick in the 2019 NBA Draft, the New York Knicks select R.J. Barrett from Toronto and Duke University.
Wait on their affirmation. You can't wait on their approval. You can't wait.
now official. Marcus Morris, he's going to sign with the New York Knicks. It's a 1-year deal worth $15 million. Originally, he planned on signing with the Spurs for 2 years, $20 million, or $10 million a season. So this is actually really sad for the Spurs, because when they got that commitment, they had to create the cap space to do that. So they traded away a player. They basically made deals based on him accepting, and then he decides, I'm not coming anymore. I'm just going to go to the Knicks. New York Knicks, and I know Knicks fans, this is not the player they were hoping to get, but this deal isn't too bad. It's 3 years worth $63 million. Now, what's funny is that Cantor, he was on TV, and he was comparing Zion to Julius Randle. He said Zion is basically Randle with hops. And then, of course, Randle responded and said, hey, the last time we played, I dropped 45 on you, so you should shut up. So, of course, the memes are flying all over the place. The Knicks, they couldn't get who they wanted, so they said, that guy, he's Zion with hops. Let's go ahead and get him. So he's not KD, he's not Kyrie, but he did play well last season. He was in his...
Energized, rising majestically with the provocative stuff. And that was very invigorating for the crowd.
That's 7 straight misses for Detroit. And now the alley-oop. Robinson.
President of basketball operations right before the trade deadline. And now they're just going to give away Marcus Morris to the Los Angeles Clippers for Mo Harkless and maybe some cash. I guess the details will come in later, but it doesn't seem like the Clippers are giving up much. This is a big blow to the rest of the league. They're just making the Clippers even better. And even the Lakers, they were rumored to be in talks. They wanted to trade Kuzma, but they also wanted Mitchell Robinson. They wanted some more assets from the Knicks. Clippers slid in there and said, nah, just give us the shooter and the defender, the 3 and the D. Just give us Marcus Morris. We'll take him for free. It's funny because the Knicks, they stole Marcus Morris from the Spurs. He was going to sign there, then they offered.
The 2020 NBA Draft, the New York Knicks select Obi Toppin from Dayton University.
What an emotional moment for the Dayton Flyer. Getting a round of applause from Adam Silver. It wasn't really that long ago that this would seem to be an unthinkable turn in the career of Obi Toppin, who was
5th pick in the 2020 NBA Draft. The Oklahoma City Thunder select Emmanuel Quickley from the University of Kentucky.
So the second one.
The New York Knicks have hired Tom Thibodeau to be their new head coach. It's a 5-year deal. This is a pretty good move for the Knicks because Thibodeau, he's going to change the culture around your team. He's got a lot of pros as a head coach. He also has his flaws. But I like this signing for the Knicks. They need to bring defense back. The Knicks of the 90s, they were a tough team. They would beat you up. They were fighting. We haven't seen the Knicks fight. We haven't seen them play like that in a long time. Maybe Tom Thibodeau is going to do that because his defensive schemes have always been good. It's the little things. It's the rotations. It's the schemes. It's the double teams. But the Knicks have to let him work. You can't get rid of him in a year or half of a year. You got to let him do his thing. Let him play out that 5-year deal. You're never going to have success if you keep changing your coach.
You can't stop chasing the dreams of your life just because
the New York Knicks reached an agreement on a trade to acquire Pistons guard Derrick Rose for Dennis Smith Jr. and 2021 second-round draft pick to reunite Rose with coach Tom Thibodeau.